Hey guys, we are in District 1 Singapore today. We're actually in Boat Quay, Clarke Quay area. So we're gonna try to shoot along the themes of basically capturing a whole series of images to tell a story. The great thing about today, we was quite surprised to see this as well. There's a bunch of painters actually there. So we're gonna capture the moments when they are painting and their artworks as well. So we're gonna take some shots around the area. We're gonna play around with colors and see what we can highlight from here. So what I want to try to go for today is a bit more on minimalism. So a bit more of basically taking structures, places, but very minimal details and tell a different kind of story. Okay, so what we have here actually is a pretty good framing where you actually see a mix of old and new. So the old side of the buildings with all the wooden window blinds and everything, and then you have the very new futuristic buildings behind. So it's a good contrast. So to go minimal, I want to capture a lot more on the top, a bit more on the bottom, so less details but bigger story. All right, so I'm going to take two photos here, one at this lower angle and one at a higher level. Okay, you will see the difference. One here, bottom one, you will see it's a bit more cluttered. But then when I move up, it goes a bit more minimalistic, and then we capture a bit of the future side and as well as the older style. So it looks better visually. We'll try to play around with colors from here or externally in Lightroom, and we'll see how it goes from there. As you're shooting along, right, sometimes we forget what we want to shoot and we run out of ideas of what we want to shoot. Right, so there are great shop houses here to take photos of, but you sometimes get sick of it. So what you can do, my best advice to you, is go to the back alleys, somewhere that most people don't actually take photos of. Go to the back alleys, take the people working, the situation, the environment there. It gives you greater content. So just try it out. All right, let's go. As we're walking here right now, what I noticed, there's a lot of yellow. So this entire shoot, I think I want to go for basically a yellow kind of timeline. So I highlight most of the yellows and like wash out the rest of the colors. Wow, okay, I like that. If you start running, then I start running also. That'd be fun. Be interesting. Alright guys, we are back in the studio right now. We're gonna do a simple edit with Lightroom. So we just open up Lightroom. Okay, I've already pre-selected two photos here. Okay, so what we're gonna try to do is actually isolate the colors. We are going to experiment with the HSL color. So all you need to do is open up your image. Okay, the first thing I typically do for my edits, just press auto. Auto will allow you to see everything that's not properly correct on your basically your light levels and shadows and everything. So once you selected this, you can see that the colors are already starting to pop. Okay, so what I typically want to do is capture all the details in the clouds and the skies. So I generally go to clarity. I increase my clarity. Okay, you can see the sharpness coming out, and then dehaze the image slightly, so you see a lot more details coming out from there. Okay, so from here, all you need to do, the best thing about Lightroom here, is actually go to your HSL color. Okay, under HSL color, you want to select onto your saturation.
saturation from here, you decrease every single color that you do not want to see. And that's it. You already have the yellows. So from here, you can actually make a photo better than it already is. Okay, if let's say for me myself, I prefer just capturing the yellows on the ground and removing everything else. Okay, what you can do is select your brush tool. Okay, brush tool, and reduce your saturation all the way down. Using a brush tool, you can use actually the bracket keys here, okay, to increase or decrease the size, and then just color it out. And there we go, we already have selected this. So for this, the yellow itself, if you want to increase how strong or how saturated it is, you can always go back to your hue and your hues and saturations and increase it or decrease it up to your liking. You can even change the color depending on what you like. Alright, so keeping in theme of the yellow color, let's go for another photo. Let's try that again. Okay, same thing as before, just select auto. Okay, increase your clarity, get as much detail as you can. It depends on your liking. This is what I typically do for my photos. If you like it to be a bit softer, decrease it, it's up to you. Okay, dehaze, get as much details. From here, just go to your saturation. Okay, we're gonna just stick the yellow and remove everything else. Okay, so there's a bit of other colors that's still captured here. So I just want actually this building here. So what I do is maybe I increase a bit more of the yellow. Okay, and then I use my brush tool with my saturation all the way down and just brush off everything else that I don't want to be in yellow. And there we go. So that's the easiest and fastest way to actually highlight your images in Lightroom, to edit it so that you can push the content similar to every single photo that you push. So this is keeping in theme of the color yellow. Okay, so before we end this episode, just something very important to just note about. Okay, street photography is never defined or conform to any set of rules or regulation. It should be candid. It should be something you enjoy taking. So for this photos itself, what I was trying to show is actually happiness. So during these times of COVID, there's a lot of darkness involved, a lot of uncertainties that's involved. So that's why I colored my photos all in black and white, but I highlighted yellow, which is basically the color of happiness and joy. So try to set a theme, okay, tell the story to your audience, and you'll be good from there. That's all for today. We'll see you on the next episode. Stay tuned, guys.